Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. And let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now today's first story comes from user 14110908. And it says, am I the arsehole here for sleeping on the couch and not in bed with my wife? Throwaway account. I, 23 male, and my wife, 24 female, got married about a year ago and just officially bought our first house about 6 months ago. During the move-in process, we decided to thrift some furniture since we were already spending a good bit on the house. I told my wife we didn't need to get a couch because we could use my parents' old one that we always had when I was growing up. It was still in good condition, and she agreed. When we finally got fully moved in, I told her how excited I was to have the couch because it was always my favorite place to sleep growing up. Something about it was just very comfortable, and I probably slept on it more than I slept in my own bed. Over the course of the 6 months we have fully moved in, I haven't slept on it through the night. Just a nap here and there, and even my wife agrees that it's more comfortable than the average couch for some reason. So about 2 days ago, we were having movie night. We were both all comfy on the couch having a nice time, and then the movie ended, and my wife said, let's go to bed. I responded, I might sleep here tonight. As she was getting up, she turned and looked very confused. Why? She asked. I said, remember I told you I loved to sleep here as a kid, and now I'm so comfy that I'm gonna just sleep here. She looked kinda confused and asked why I didn't want to sleep with her. I told her that she was more than welcome to sleep on the couch with me. The couch is plenty big enough for 2 people. I told her that sleeping on the couch had nothing to do with not sleeping with her, and that I just missed sleeping on it. She just said whatever and walked away. I felt bad because I really didn't mean anything by it, so I got up and went to our bedroom. When I walked in, she was getting to bed. I sat down next to her and said that I was sorry and that I would sleep in bed if she wanted me to. She rolled over and said, go sleep on your stupid couch. I didn't want to make it a big deal, so I laid down in bed and got under the covers. But before I could even get comfortable, she put her feet on my lower back and started pushing and kicking me, saying to go sleep on that stupid couch. I was kinda shocked. I've never seen her this upset. We've had our arguments like every couple does, but nothing major, and I've never seen her so upset and angry. I didn't want it to blow up anymore, so I just went to the couch and went to sleep. I really don't know if I did something wrong. I asked one of my closest friends, and he was confused as well. I really love my wife and don't want something as stupid as a couch to come between us. Am I the arsehole here? Gilliam starts in the comments saying this is going to be a long and exhausting few years of marriage. Shady Hollow Farm says, my ex-husband freaked out the one time I went to the couch when I couldn't get to sleep due to him snoring like a chainsaw. He came out and yelled at me at the top of his lungs and woke me up out of a dead sleep. I realized later he equated my leaving our bed with abandonment and rejection. This might be why your wife is so upset. Drudge from Hell says, why are we glossing over the fact that she pushed and kicked him? Slow Balance says a lot of folks believe not sharing a bed shows a poor relationship. But people in a good, healthy relationship understand that not every action your partner makes is a direct comment on the state of their relationship. I know several married couples that have their own bedrooms and they love it. Lol Ease says, my husband regularly falls asleep on the couch on the weekend. I tuck him in, turn off the lights and give him a kiss goodnight. Then I spread eagle in bed and enjoy my freedom. I'd be less concerned about the why and more concerned about her physically assaulting you for something so utterly menial. And some people were saying, calling her out for what she did, pushing him out of the bed like that was overreacting. I didn't think that at all. When I was reading that was a huge red flag that jumped out to me. Literally physically pushing and kicking him out of bed while she was upset out of anger. Kicking him out of a shared space when he was trying to comfort her. She told him to sleep on the couch and physically forced him out when he chose to stay in bed and used her feet to push and kick him repeatedly. That's not on. OP came in below the actual post itself to add some more information and said, add in some more info based on comments I've seen. Sex. We had sex before the movie, and when she got up and asked to go to bed, it definitely didn't give that vibe. The couch. I saw a few people asking if I had other partners on the couch and that maybe that's why she got upset. No, my parents got a new couch when I was about 16 and moved that one into an extra storage room in the house. It had boxes and other stuff on it, so it didn't get any use. Rejection. Seen not saying that it's probably her feeling like I'm rejecting her. And while that's not at all how I meant it, I totally understand how it could have came off that way. I was just being a dummy and that thought never crossed my mind in the moment. Yesterday was a little tense. I tried talking but she didn't listen. She went to work around 3 p.m. and got back about 8 p.m. We hung out, ordered dinner and ate, but still little talking. We slept in bed together but I could tell she was still upset. Going to try and talk in the morning and depending on how that goes, I might post an update. A commenter says to OP straight after this, seriously, she's still mad about this when she should be the one apologizing to you. Dude, you married an entitled woman child. Like I said, if you don't want to see that couch ruined, get it out of the house. And one more comment on the back of that saying, this overreaction is ridiculous, immature, and is coming across as manipulative. At this stage, I'll be challenging her on her lack of communication and drawing out a minor incident. What is the purpose of her giving you the cold treatment like this? This is not how to have a healthy, long-term relationship. How are both of you going to handle the actual big things, the big arguments? If she refuses to talk and engage or sets it as her against you and she must win, and this is before we even get to the point where she pushed you out of bed, open the convo with something like, this is upsetting me how long this is going on for, and the lack of honest and open discussion. Please can you tell me the reasons why you found this so upsetting and are refusing to engage fully with me, and we can make a commitment to clear and open communication, founded on respect going forwards, as this isn't healthy and productive. As a partner, we're perfectly within our rights to bring healthy challenge points and ask for better from them. Begin now. So sometime later, OP does come in with a post and says update. So much has happened, then shares a link to their last post and says, sorry for not updating sooner. With everything that happened, life is very chaotic right now. I'm going to break this up into 2 parts so it's not one very long post. About a day later I came home and spoke to my wife, apologized and said that if she felt rejected in any way, I'm sorry and that's not really how I meant it. I told her I was just tired and stupid for not realizing that asking to sleep on the couch would hurt her feelings. She accepted my apology and said she was sorry for pushing me out of bed and that she just got caught up in the moment. Then she said she just really doesn't understand why I like to sleep on the couch. I told her that I've just always thought it was very comfortable, but I promised I wouldn't sleep overnight on it, maybe just the occasional nap. She asked if I'd be okay to get rid of the couch and get a new one. I said that was perfectly fine, but asked if she didn't like the couch, then why didn't she say so before we moved in? She had seen it before, so it's not like she didn't know what was coming. She said that she saw that I was excited and didn't want to ruin my excitement. I told her that I wanted to be just as happy as me so she could pick out whatever couch she wanted. That night I called my parents and told them we were getting a new couch. I didn't explain the whole situation because I thought everything was smoothed over. My mum said that they would take it back because my dad cleaned out the storage room and wanted to make a man cave area. I went upstairs and told my wife that my parents wanted the couch back and now we could save money by not having to pay someone to haul it off. She said that sounded good and that she had already found the couch she wanted. I said perfect and that she could order it right away. The next morning I woke up and my wife made breakfast and everything seemed back to normal. I ate, drank coffee and headed to work. That evening I got home around 4 o'clock and there was a junk removal truck parked in our driveway. I walked inside and noticed that the couch was gone. My wife was in the kitchen, so I asked her what was going on, and she said, I know you said your parents wanted the couch, but had already called the junk removal guys and would have felt bad if I cancelled. I said, what? Why would you do that? Now we have to pay these guys to remove something that's not even junk, and something my parents wanted. She asked why I cared so much about a stupid couch, and I told her this wasn't about the couch. It was about her not telling me about this, or not just cancelling the junk removal guys. I told her it just made no sense because we already had everything worked out. Oh no, those red flags just got huge. Your wife decided to deliberately destroy something meaningful to you, to your family, after you already worked out a solution to the issue that she had originally. And let's be clear here about what happened, because You apologize initially, even though personally I don't think you needed to begin with, given that she physically kicked you out of bed. You agreed to get rid of the couch to make her happy. You found a solution, returned it to your parents, and made your parents happy at the same time. But she already had junk removal scheduled and went through with it anyway. And does this mean she had already scheduled the junk removal before even talking to you about getting rid of it? So it was all planned. As I said, huge red flags here. It just sounds like it's all about control. I mean, I've just been scratching my head why she's like this. Is it just petty, or is she just controlling? She had to get rid of it in her way. The top commenter on that update simply said, yeah, this marriage isn't going to last long. Another commenter says, so she would have felt bad for cancelling on complete strangers, but for not throwing out something her in-laws wanted back. What the fuck? She really wants to hurt you emotionally just because you wanted to sleep on the couch. Putting a ring on it really does bring out the real personality for some people. I'd personally make her pay for a new couch for your parents with her own money. And one more comment that simply says, yikes, this is about a lot more than the couch. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Is it about the couch, or is there a lot more going on in the background? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now our next story comes from the relationship advice subreddit from Throwaway Coffee Lover, who says, I, 23 female, met my boyfriend's 25 male work wife for the first time, and I'm devastated. So throwaway account, because this is pretty personal drama and I don't want all my friends knowing about this just yet. I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years now, and he's been at his current job for a few years. We'll call him Jake. I've never met any of his co-workers until last night, but there's one in particular who we will call Amy. He sometimes does favors for her, fixing her car, going to her house to fix stuff around her house, etc. And I was never really concerned because he told me all of his co-workers are a lot older than him. However, one night, while he was asleep, his guy friend kept blowing up his phone. So I answered to let him know Jake was sleeping and so was I. So please stop calling. Anyways, before I put the phone down, I noticed 5 unread text notifications from Amy. I guess some of the spam notifications were from her. One of them said, "Great Jake, now everyone thinks we're fucking," with a laughing emoji. This really concerned me. So the next day after Jake got home from work, I asked about it. He said that both him and Amy were late for work that morning, so everyone probably assumed that, and it was just a joke. I thought it was a weirdly unprofessional joke and expressed my discomfort. He invited me to the bar with him and his co-workers that night so I could meet her and see it was nothing to worry about. It did not soothe my nerves at all. Turns out, Amy is not a lot older than him. She's only 3 years older and super pretty. The entire night she was all over him, touching him, leaning on him, putting her arms around him, and even kissed him on the cheek, and he acted like it was normal. They were constantly teasing each other in that middle schooler who doesn't know how to properly flirt yet kind of way. She told me all about how she loves him like a brother, and also told me she's had sex with half of their other co-workers, and that she got the next morning off work because she sent a co-worker nudes to get him to cover for her. Later on, she started crying and sobbing at the bar, actual tears, because she's so lonely and wants someone to love her, and my boyfriend ended up having to comfort her. I'm just unsure what to do or say. My boyfriend kept acting like this was normal, that he wasn't doing anything wrong by entertaining this behavior. I can't ask him to cut her off. They're on the same unit and they have to work together. I literally do not know what to do about this, but I'm just disgusted knowing this has been going on years, that he's worked with her. How can I set boundaries when they're forced to be around each other all the time at work? Oh no, not a work wife situation, and for me, absolutely not overreacting. I was putting myself in your shoes at the bar and just trying to imagine, having your partner stand there while you got someone out leaning on them, touching them, kissing them on the cheek, all this stuff going on. Yeah, add that with everyone thinks we're fucking text. Yeah, come on now, everyone can see what's going on at the office as well. And also add that to her oversharing about her sex life with co-workers and using nudes to, get people to cover her shifts. Just a whole load of red flags, right? And your boyfriend knows all this about her and is still maintaining this kind of relationship level of closeness with her, if you like. I mean, I found it interesting that he did try to ease her concerns by taking her to the bar in the first place, but then that went on. It just made it 10 times worse. But Silver Grain Dust says your gut is working. None of that is normal coworker behavior, and it's okay to be disturbed. One small step, calmly tell him you need a firm boundary like no touching/kisses, no outside of work favors, and see if he actually respects that. Opie says thank you. We'll try and see if he respects it or not. Most people were telling me to just leave, but part of me finds it really difficult to end a long-term relationship without at least attempting to talk out the issue with him. Delicious Smile replies saying, please don't stay in a relationship just because you've been in it for several years. I've seen so many people, including myself, become victim to the sunken cost fallacy in relationships. She's fucked half the people at work, hangs all over him in front of you, and openly admits to using guys by sending nudes. Doesn't your boyfriend go to her place to fix things? I wonder why. I'd be shocked if she hasn't sent him pics already. Pretty Reckless says if my man ever referred to someone as his work wife, that would be the end of it for me. Luckily, he'd never do that because he respects me. Your boyfriend is disrespecting you. Mutt Kitten Man says, stuff like this, in my opinion, is not even worth the effort to fix. Your boyfriend is entertaining another woman by hiding behind the, what, we're just friends, she's like a sister, but is all over me kissing my cheek card. Why be with someone who you need to babysit and correct about for what looks like a clear affair? Impossible for me to believe your boyfriend isn't into her himself. Full Frontal says she said she sent another coworker nudes. Questions. 1. What kind of workplace is this where this is happening? It sounds like an HR nightmare. 2. Has she sent your boyfriend nudes? Have you checked his phone? Opie replied saying, so this notification from your comment popped up and it made me think. I decided that even though I didn't like the idea of purposely snooping, the curiosity got the better of me. I scrolled through his text with her and I found nothing concerning, until I realized the texts only go back a few months. I know for a fact they've been texting since she started working there 2 years ago. So I'm now worried that he deleted their previous conversation. I don't see any other explanation, unless she got a new phone number a few months ago. Unga says, your boyfriend cares for his work wife. I just hate that term, more than you. The way they acted, touched in front of you, and your boyfriend sees nothing wrong. I think you have underreacted. Ask the question, is he worth it? Opie says, I was just kind of in shock because they did it so blatantly and everyone else was acting like it was normal. She was also super touchy with me and even kissed me on the cheek and hugged me a lot despite being our first time meeting. So I struggled with wondering if this is just how she is as a person. I know some people are just very touchy and physically affectionate, and I guess that just made me worried I was being paranoid. I don't want to seem like the crazy girlfriend. But Opie did come in with her update and says, so to start this off, I have to apologize for not updating sooner. It's been a while and I'm not sure if you guys will even remember me or my post, lol. A lot has happened and I've just been overwhelmed. I want to say thank you to everyone who gave advice. The original post got over 2 million views, so there were tons of comments. I read them all, even if I didn't respond. I did not expect it to blow up like that. Before I give the update, I want to give some clarifications about frequently asked questions on the original post. 1, my boyfriend told me that all his co-workers were a lot older than him, but that was when we were discussing other co-workers months prior, so I understand why he didn't happen to mention the one exception, Amy, since she wasn't on topic. He was making a generalization. So, update time. I did end up talking to Jake. I struggled finding a good time to bring it up because we ended up being invited on a spontaneous trip with our friends shortly after I made my post. But I ended up talking to him when we had a moment alone at the hotel. I explained how those behaviors made me feel, and he told me he wanted to discuss this but wasn't sure how to bring it up either, since we didn't talk about it when it happened. I was so emotionally defeated the night we got home from the bar that I went to sleep without a word. Anyways, Jake told me that he was also completely caught off guard by how Amy was acting at the bar. He said that while she did make odd comments every now and then, she had never physically done anything until that night, and he let that other female co-worker know he was uncomfortable with how Amy acted at the bar, and she agreed and said she would not schedule him with Amy anymore, since she manages the schedule. I mentioned in my last post that Amy was constantly boasting about sleeping with a bunch of men and sending them pictures or whatever. I interpreted this as, She's trying to tell him she's down to do anything with anyone, including him. She's telling him she's interested. She's telling him she likes having sex. Jake, however, interpreted the flirty comments as her personality because she was that way with everyone, and interpreted the sleeps with a bunch of men boasting as, "I'm not interested in you personally though," which is why he didn't find it odd. You know how when you start talking to someone of the opposite sex, they casually slip in a mention of their girlfriend and boyfriend as a way to let you know they're already taken and are only interacting with you platonically. He thought it was like that, and that was why she kept mentioning whoever she was seeing at the time. During our conversation, Jake reassured me that he loves me and only wants me. He apologized for not resolving this sooner, and that he just felt super awkward at the bar when he realized what she was doing, and he didn't know how to react. He mentioned that he would never do anything with Amy or anyone like Amy, and that he found her promiscuity and emotional instability to be unattractive. He believed that the reason she suddenly started being so handsy with him that night at the bar was because I was there, and that must have made her lash out. But he promised it had never happened before that. After this conversation and him showing me text from his co-worker stating he won't be scheduled with Amy anymore, I felt a lot better. Until Jake told me he wanted to talk one day. He said that even though he wasn't scheduled on the same shifts as Amy anymore, she started switching shifts with people to work with him. Because of that, he started applying to jobs and later on let me know he got accepted to be a field technician at, redacted for privacy. He put in his 2 weeks in at his current job and now he only has 1 week left until he starts. It's a field he's more interested in, has better pay, and obviously Amy won't be there. Overall, I'm currently happy and feel a lot better that he cut her, and soon that entire work environment out of our lives. We've been talking about a lot of things since then. Better communication, how we can enforce boundaries even when it's awkward. I know this update is going to make a lot of people displeased. Most responses wanted me to end our relationship, but I'm happy where things are currently going. Thank you again to everyone who responded, except the few who kept accusing me of being AI. Lol. Also, sorry for the bad formatting. I typed this out on my iPhone. I think this went better than a lot of the stories that we actually see. He seemed to actually listen, he took action and changed jobs to remove the problem entirely. Now, I can already see a couple of comments below, saying it's still red flag central. But I think in this, Jake did try to acknowledge how OP was feeling, talked to another co-worker about it, and when Amy still tried to become a problem by shift swapping to keep working with him, he was like, fuck this. I'm going to get a new job to get himself out of it. But, of course, only time will tell. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. Now, I was just scouting through the Am I the Arsehole subreddit and I saw a little bit of a neighbor drama kicking off. It's from Just Toppers, who says, "Am I the arsehole for blocking my neighbor's car? In all the time I've lived here, 6 years, snow removal has been a non-issue, but the building was sold last spring and this new guy apparently loves accumulation. Because of that, I didn't own a shovel, never needed one. But we got like 15 inches of snow and the landlord still hasn't plowed or cleared any snow. I'm not looking forward to it freezing over, so I walk to the store, buy a shovel and dig my car out. I also dig a fatty path across the parking lot so I can pull out. I take care of a couple of errands, gone maybe an hour, and this lady parks in my spot. The only spot available. Yes, but it's there because of my labor. We don't have assigned parking, but we do always park in the same spot, so it's not like she doesn't know who carved the path. I'm not digging myself another parking spot. I'm not very altruistic, so I park behind her. Have a meeting in 15 minutes and I can't be fucked to find out whose car this is. There are only 3 units and 2 commercial stores downstairs, but they are closed today. Still, I decide not to go door to door. Halfway through the meeting, someone starts banging on my door. I ignore it. They don't stop and they keep coming back every 5 or 10 minutes. When I wrap up my meeting, I finally answer the door, and this red-faced lady is absolutely livid. We get into it and she tells me to move my fucking car, and asking in what world was how I parked okay, and going on about how long she'd been waiting. I tell her I dug that spot out myself, had nowhere to park, so I had no choice. I put my boots and coat back on and go out to move my car, and my neighbor is there. I guess whoever she was visiting. I don't associate with the neighbors ever if I can help it. With his arms crossed, and he lays into me too, saying I should have asked them when they needed to leave so we could decide who should park in back of who and move our cars. I'm just like, what the fuck? Because maybe he could have dug his guest a space if he knew she was coming. He brings up that there is no assigned parking and that he doesn't have a shovel anyways. Whatever. It went on, and I really don't think I was the arsehole here, but my neighbor said he used to like me because I was quiet and respectful, but now he knows my true colors. So, am I the arsehole here? I genuinely feel like I'm in the right and they need to chill out, but now I think there is an unnecessary bad blood between us. I bloody love neighbor drama. I don't know what it is that tickles me about it so much, but I might get hate for my opinion on this one. I'm sort of like not the arsehole. It seems you did the work, you get the spot, even though they're like non-assigned spaces or whatever. I mean, it's just bloody cheeky, isn't it? I just think having the audacity of, taking someone's freshly dug out spot and then getting mad when they get blocked in is just pretty impressive. And then the neighbor coming in at the end with like, I used to like you, but now I know your true colors. It just feels a bit manipulative, right? Just feels like, your true colors are just someone that's not going to have the piss taken out of them. The top commenter on this one said, are you the arsehole? Yes. Is it justified? Absolutely. OP just replied saying, this is fair. I can accept this. Anon says, not the arsehole. You could be in real trouble stealing the spot your neighbor dug out in Boston, even if it was on the street. OP replies saying, yeah, I'm in Massachusetts, actually, and it might have been relevant because we are all arseholes. But I guess that answers my question too. I am the arsehole, but I'm also surrounded by arseholes. It comes down to etiquette of territory, I guess. No wonder says, you shovel it, you own it. Put a chair, road cone, trash can, whatever in the spot to claim it. Them's the rules. A lot of people were replying below that saying that is the rules, that is the etiquette behind digging your own little space out. Is that true, my US folks? I'm saying US because this story seems to be based in the US, but feel free to chip in other snow-covered countries. In the UK, we occasionally get a little sprinkling of snow and it's already chaos. We never have to dig snow out though. And just to spice things up a bit, we're going to look in the controversial section of the comments just to see what else is happening, because the majority of the top ones were all not the arsehole, but Witch on a Moped says you're the arsehole. Not having assigned parking sucks, but that's what it is. Intentionally blocking someone is just an arsehole move. 1962 Michael says you're the arsehole for blocking her in. Sorry, but no assigned spaces means just that, snow or no snow. The visitor isn't an arsehole, because she could have assumed you'd be gone for the day and she was only visiting for an hour anyway. Brit953 says you're the arsehole. You're absolutely the arsehole here. It would have been easy to park somewhere where you were only blocking cars that had not been dug out. It is not your neighbor's fault or the visitor's fault that there were no other unassigned parking spots that were clear of snow. Get mad at the real issue. The failure of your landlord to complete the snow clearance in a timely fashion they are expected or required to do. OP added an edit to their post, adding at the user's suggestion that the lot is gravel. There is street parking as the front of the building is a sidewalk with 2-hour spots for visitors and customers. Also, so many you're the arseholes, not the arseholes, everyone sucks here, that have no choice but to accept that we were all arseholes. Just a bunch of arseholes being arseholes in the snow because the landlord is an arsehole. Thank you. Second edit. You know what I just realized though? They could have dug her a pathway out. The way I parked was only blocking her because it was a car-wide path I had shoveled, but she could have started digging herself a way to turn around as easily as I dug a way to pull out. She could have also just widened the path to a 2-laner and popped out. Oh dear, as I say, it does absolutely tickle me. I'm going to absolutely stick with not the arsehole, even if it makes me the arsehole in this situation too. That is 100% accepted, because that would get right on my tits. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.